The Chinese Communist Party, CCP, persecutes Falun Gong due to a combination of political, ideological, and authoritarian motives. Here are the key reasons. 1. Falun Gong's rapid popularity. By the late 1990s, Falun Gong, a spiritual practice combining meditation, moral teachings, and gentle exercises, had attracted an estimated 70100 million practitioners in China. Its rapid growth alarmed the CCP, which views any large, independent movement as a threat to its authority. 2. Ideological conflict. The CCP is officially atheist and rejects spiritual beliefs. Falun Gong's teachings emphasize truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance, principles rooted in traditional Chinese spirituality that contrast sharply with the CCP's materialistic and control-driven ideology. 3. Fear of losing control. Falun Gong operates outside the CCP's control. Unlike state-approved religious organizations, Falun Gong is decentralized and independent. This autonomy was perceived as a challenge to the CCP's dominance over society. 4. Historical hostility to spiritual movements. The CCP has a history of persecuting spiritual groups and religions, seeing them as rivals to its ideological monopoly. Movements like Falun Gong, which inspire moral and spiritual devotion, are seen as undermining the CCP's authority. 5. The April 25th protest. On April 25, 1999, over 10,000 Falun Gong practitioners peacefully gathered in Beijing to appeal for the release of fellow practitioners who had been unjustly detained. Though the demonstration was calm and lawful, it shocked CCP leadership, especially Jiang Zemin, who viewed it as a direct challenge to the regime. 6. Jiang Zemin's personal decision. Jiang Zemin, then CCP leader, played a key role in initiating the persecution. He feared Falun Gong's popularity and personally ordered its eradication, reportedly saying, "I will eliminate Falun Gong in 3 months." Jiang's decision turned Falun Gong into a political target. 7. Falun Gong's moral teachings. Falun Gong promotes traditional moral values and ethical behavior, encouraging people to live truthfully and compassionately. The CCP, which maintains power through fear, propaganda, and ideological control, saw Falun Gong's principles as undermining its narrative and societal control. 8. CCP's fear of large-scale movements. The CCP is historically paranoid about mass movements due to events like the Cultural Revolution and the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests. Falun Gong's large following and ability to mobilize peacefully triggered fears of potential unrest. 9. A demonization through propaganda. To justify the persecution, the CCP launched a massive propaganda campaign to demonize Falun Gong, labeling it a cult. This narrative was used to turn public opinion against Falun Gong and justify harsh measures. 10. Exploitation and human rights violations. The persecution of Falun Gong has led to horrific human rights abuses, including torture, forced labor, and organ harvesting. The CCP's authoritarian regime uses Falun Gong practitioners as a scapegoat and a tool to instill fear while profiting from illicit activities like forced organ transplants. In summary, the CCP persecutes Falun Gong because it fears its popularity, independence, and spiritual teachings as a challenge to its ideological and political control. This brutal campaign reflects the CCP's intolerance toward any group or belief system that it cannot dominate.